pandemic has changed almost everything in our lives.
Educators of all levels have pivoted to different ways to get the job done.
Joining us now is Madison College President Dr. Jack Daniels, who discusses how higher education has changed in the last year. Doctor, good to see you.
Hi, Dr. Daniels. Thanks for joining us.
Susan, Mark, my pleasure.
As we mentioned going into the commercial break, it was 1 year ago tomorrow that you went almost all virtual. How did you prepare for that?
If you think about March 16th, the next 2 weeks we were off. And what happened is the faculty, and they stepped up greatly, changed all of their courses so they would be online or in a hybrid mode. And so they worked diligently for the next 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks later, we had to go in a much more complete environment that really focused on our hybrid courses as well as our online courses. But they did a tremendous job in preparing their courses for articulating to their students.
What changes has the college made as a result of the pandemic that perhaps you see as lasting changes?
I think a couple of things. Number one, we've come to know that we can do anything basically that is going to help students be successful. You know, pre-COVID, there was always the question, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that. This environment and what has happened is really shown us we can make movement if we have a very good plan and that we are working together. We know that many of our courses are going to remain in a hybrid or a online format. We also know that many of our employees who are staff or administration, like accounting, our finance areas, they don't necessarily have to be in person to be able to do their jobs. Mm-hmm. And so that has changed. And we're looking at a lot of more remote type of potential and possibilities that will continue to move us forward.
Physically, in your buildings, are there going to be some permanent changes when the new normal happens?
When we think about coming back into our facilities, we will maintain our social distancing. Our classes will be actually configured to maintain that 6-foot distance. So if you take a classroom that is normally maybe seat 30, it may be seating 15 to 16. But our scheduling will be in such that we will be able to provide our instruction across a much broader platform.
And are you hoping by the start of the next academic year in the fall, you'll be back to fully in person?
We will not be fully in person. What will happen is that we're moving from where we had 70% of our classes were fully remote for the last fall and last spring. We know that 25% of our classes were roughly hybrid. I would suggest and probably assume that many of our classes will become much more of a hybrid mode as opposed to a complete or fully online type of course. So if I look at the fall, I would suspect that we would have a substantial increase of the hybrid courses as well as our face-to-face courses.
It has been a long year and a lot of challenges and changes, and hopefully the coming year will be a lot better. Doctor, thanks for being with us today.
Yes. Thank you.
Great to see you. Thank you so much.